offensive glass, but getting a rebound, Florida, getting out, establishing that break, a must.
A lot of ball screens. Roberts rolls well. Condon. He couldn't secure it. Uzan does. 10 to shoot. Picked up there by Martin. Little step and go. Uzan high up the window with it. Shot clock down to 10. He's going to take it and miss it off the heel. Rebounded by Francis.
Good job. He's good minutes for Francis.
Clayton is 0 of 3 from three-point range. Uzan gets a switch with the big. That means Clayton is trying to deal with Tugler.
Pretty good job by Clayton on the denial. And once again, he moves his feet beautifully.
Uzan has got that killer crossover, uses the left well, and floats it in. A teardrop. Legit rim protector. And as good a lob threat as you're going to find. 32-22. Duke, a minute 20 to play in this first half.
They really are communicating well on this end, Duke.
Uzan lines it up, knocks it down. It's a three.
And he is shot unselfish.
First three of the night for Sion James out of Sugar Hill, Georgia. 8-point lead for the Blue Devils. Uzan will try to do it himself, and he does off the glass.
Didn't need much space.
Keeps busy, that kid.
He just has beautiful shooting mechanics. 15 for Knipple.
Roberts wants to take over. They can't get it to him.
Hand it off Uzan. Get it back from Cryer. 7 to shoot. Uzan. Shake and bake. Oh, that's nice.
He owned them. A little. They're doing as good a job as you could do against Tennessee's a good offensive team, top 20 in offensive efficiency, and they haven't been able to get near the basket.
Uzan defended by Ziegler, and Uzan wins that matchup.
Yeah, just shot open.
Ziegler over Cryer, can't bank it in, and the rebound to Francis. And what else can Tennessee do offensively? The three is not working. You have to keep shooting them. And what's plan B right now?
There really is no plan B because they don't have a guy in the
minute to go, and it does not look like Rick Barnes is going to foul. I haven't told you about the great relationship he has with Kelvin Sampson. Those two go way back, playing against each other in college. Both grew up in North Carolina. Tremendous amount of respect for one another as Uzan hits two more. But we met with Matt Painter at practice yesterday, and he said we've got to keep Kaufman-Wren out of foul trouble. Picks up an early one here, Lap.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They got to worry about that because they don't want to. They're going to take him out now, so he doesn't get that second. But one thing we just saw, Matt Painter is top 5 in the country at baseline out of bounds scoring. That's what Fletcher Lawyer did right there.
Well, Kaufman-Wren is still on the floor. Roberts, double teamed. Gets it out to Cryer. Extra pass, Uzan. And that one is good. 14 from beyond the arc. Uzan jumper. And the rebound tip right back to him. He'll take a three this time and hit it. Second. Painter calls that his bread and butter. He had 22 points in the second round win over McNeese to go along with a career high 15 rebounds.
I've been impressed so far with Purdue's half-court defense, to be honest with you. I think it's been really good.
Uzan step back. That's a three.
A great job of when Houston decides they want to go after you with two, of reversing the ball and getting it to an open guy.
Cox has scored the last 7 for Purdue.
You know, we talked about some of the ancillary guys doing something, and this guy can shoot it.
Big game for the Cougars tonight. Looking for more here. It won't go, but Roberts the offensive rebound.
Attacking that drop coverage at the foul line. Got a really good shot, Milos Uzan.
Houston out rebounding Purdue by 10. Shot clock is at 5. Uzan again, runner is good. Uzan. What about the decision by Smith on that alley-oop right there?
No, that wasn't a good decision. Ambitious, as you said.
Colvin can really get up, but that was too high.
And it was from beyond, just beyond half court. A little too far.
Cryer A quiet night. Uzan, a hot night. He's got 3 more.
Their defense is better, and they're getting in the paint a lot more now.
Auburn advancing to the Elite Eight, a win over Michigan down in Atlanta. Uzan wants 3. Yes! Playing for a spot in the Elite Eight. Uzan gets it in, gets it back, and he puts it in! What a play!
He's good. I mean, if they're not going to double team, that might have to be their offense tonight. And on the Gonzaga side, you got to find somebody who want to be a straight line driver other than Nembhard.
I think that's Battle.
Or Hickman. Either guy.
Right. Hickman's more of a catch and shoot guy.
But today, he's going to have to drive it.
And Uzan is able to convert. Back to a 9-point game. Roberts again against EK. He just threw it up, got it back again. Off the glass, no good. Ball tipped around. Tugler kicks it out. Uzan.
Nembhard got out on Cryer quickly.
Uzan for 3. It's good.
Defense, the other thing too, Steve. SIUE has to get back. You saw no one go to the glass. They got to load up on the defensive end.
Uzan with his leaner.
Didn't like him when I was playing.
Cryer, runner, off to the side. Rebound pulled down by Roberts. Uzan down low. Roberts got position. Cut off by Thompson. Shot clock at 10. Uzan. Well, he's a magician in the game, so he doesn't sit out that often. Cryer thinks about a 3. Too strong. Ball tipped around. Saved by Wilson and picked up by Houston.
That's offense, too, for them. We talked about in the open. They get on the glass. One of the best in college basketball. This is a beautiful move.
Uzan off the glass. Runner is good.
Good job by Dillon. When I'm looking at Miles Thompson, you saw the double team coming. He accepted it too much. You got to get rid of it quickly.
Yeah, sometimes less is more when you're attacking this Houston defense.
Well, if you're going to stretch that trap, you only can stretch it like 1 dribble, not 2, 3, or 4, because then they're just going to load up.
How about Uzan with a poke? It's good.
Coming off the last time out, Brian Barone's team looks a little more settled, a little more confident.
All set up by that block by Sakanis. He has 7 blocks in the last 3 games.
Job by him. No easy buckets.
Uzan knifing his way through the defense, and his runner's good. So Uzan, extra pass for Dillon. Thompson again in the corner. Shot clock at 5. Bobbles it as he dribbles. He's so tough against this defense.
If you get a good shot, you have to take it. If you work for a great shot, it's going to be too much, and then on the other end.
In the country, all right? They've got 1 loss since late November. That's not a good shot.
Uzan at the basket.
That's outside. Pretty much did it all.
9-7. We close in on the 12-minute mark. John Shelby, Fran Fraschilla, Chris Button. Uzan wide open. And nothing but net for
Buddies, because I know that league. I know the G League. This kid's going to be a professional basketball player.
Uzan crossover and 1. They get a walk on the foul. Mom loving it.
And what they did right there was move that ball out of the trap quickly, and it's hard to recover back to the big guy.
And Uzan with a huge. Uzan with Townsend on him.
This is good. This is good. This is good. That's good.
Advantage and a
post up and seal your own man. It opens up a driving lane.
Henry Vasar was down the other end of the court, kind of hobbling. We'll see if he's okay, if it's some type of lower leg injury. And Uzan gets the roll. Caleb Love with 17 points, and that leads Arizona. Waka pops out. Uzan will try and hit. Cryer on the baseline. Tipped out Wilson.
big offensive rebound for Houston. Arizona's done a great job limiting the offensive rebounding of the Cougars. Uzan off the glass and good. Lloyd commented to Chris Budden, I think we got the Maui rims. I think they tightened them up here for game 1 of the semifinals.
Maybe Kelvin Sampson had somebody come in here during the night and tighten the rims up.
5-zip Houston.
Yep, little zone now. This zone was effective last night.
Uzan from the elbow. Soft touch.
The thing about getting him out early when he's shaky like this is you got Dallin Hall's got 60 starts plus coming in for him.
He'll sit down and talk to John Linehan, one of their assistants. He's an outstanding college player at Providence. Uzan looking for space, finds it off the elbow, hits it again.
I think guarded the defender with a little step back.
Step back, Uzan gets it.
This guy's ridiculous.
They need to find a solution here in the second half, but turning it over like that, that's not it.
No, the freshman, the high draft pick, is a disaster right now, and he's coming out right away. He has not handled Houston's pressure very well over 2 games, John.
Uzan, a little shuffle, and that is good. This Houston team, they capable of winning it all?
Without a question. Yep, I think right now they're one of the 3 best teams in the country. We hope Cooper Flagg's not seriously hurt.
Uzan drills that. Smith inside left hand and rolls off. And now Uzan. Hesitation, Milos.
Boyle's got to be very happy with his team, the way they've competed. And that time, no double team, and we saw Malone do this last night. Remember, Johnny went right back to Malone 3 or 4 times last night.
Percy Miller here. Uzan, shot clock under 10. Tugler back to Uzan. Step back. That's a 3. That's good. Into the game since that right ankle injury.
That's right. Sitting over there. Look at Uzan. He's clearing people out. Little pick and roll action here.
Uzan step back, it's a 3, and it's
amazing.
good.
Yep, that's
his team is, I love his line about one thing he's learned in his 30 years of coaching is how much more resilient kids are than adults.
Yeah, I learned something this weekend with that phrase. I'm telling you, Kelvin's been very stoic today. And I think he'll make some points to his team tonight.
Uzan off balance, gets it to go.
Clock inside 5. Norchad Omier off on the 3, and the rebound ripped down by Juwan Roberts for Houston.
One of the other key stats to watch tonight, Baylor's turnovers. They've got to limit their turnovers. They cannot allow Houston to run out and score in transition.
Milos Uzan, the floater in the key, and Houston take any play.
There's no give up. Whether they're behind or in front of the ball, they are going to sprint with a sense of urgency every single possession.
Milos Uzan spots up in the corner. 3 as Houston seesaws in front.
Defense leading the offense for the Baylor Bears.
7 for Omier, 7 for Edgecombe to lead Baylor. LJ Cryer with 12 for Houston to lead all scorers in the game. Milos Uzan off 1 foot, the push shot by Uzan.
That screen beautifully to get downhill and then let his athleticism take over.
13 for Edgecombe to lead Baylor. Milos Uzan. And the pull-up jumper rattles in for Uzan.
Passes Kenneth Farid. Excuse me. All-time NCAA list for double-doubles.
It's Norchad Omer. His 87th career double-double. Milos Uzan knocks down the deep two.
His career.
Uzan looking to turn the corner. The floater is good. To me, basketball exploits.
Brandy's now 4 for 10. He's made 40%.
There you go. Well, that one was in and out. That was in and out.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. But you know what I like about it? There's such a great player development program here. They allow him to experiment.
Yeah, no doubt that they let him take that shot. There's Uzan. Did he go left hand?
I don't know. He double pumped it, but Coit once again, he's already made 3 threes, 5th time this year he's done that. But I've always loved his toughness, and I think Bill Self appreciates it too.
Uzan inside and looking for a shot. Him on senior night. It was a really moving moment between those two. You think about it, 11 years for Kelvin, and Jawan's been here for 6 of them.
And Jawan's not in the loony bin yet. Yep. Handling Kelvin. Watch out.
Milos Uzan knocks it.
Look at it. But that's why Cincinnati wants to play fast. That's the first time Jizzle got all the way to the rim. Draws help. They can get an offensive rebound if he gets it up on the glass.
Uzan over James. Scoring.
He makes a lot of those, but let him just get it up on the glass and offensive rebound. But they've kept him out of the paint all day.
2 minutes in the half.
They're ISO Arsenal in the win.
He's going to work. Spins into a double team. Uzan on a runner. Got it.
They've got so many. This is the shot they say you should never take. And he makes that at a higher percent than any other shot he takes.
Jizzle does not talk about analytics. He does not have a conscience when it comes to shooting.
No.
He takes some bad ones, but he makes some great ones.
You're right. And Wes Miller allows him, encourages it, because he knows that's where he's most effective.
Yep. Uzan, boy, he's got that one down.
That floater.
Cryer. Houston, an outstanding offensive rebounding team. They're also a really good three-point shooting team. You think defense, but they've improved offensively, and there is Uzan.
But the whole early part of the season.
Walton fires. Kerwin Walton, the North Carolina transfer. Uzan, that's a 3. Uzan from the free throw line, a little bit short, offensive rebound. So the point guard doing the job. One of the things Houston does so well is grab those offensive rebounds, and there's Uzan.
Watch that double team. Got to move it quickly. Can't do that.
Great hands, Uzan. Uzan at the basket, off the glass and in, and every possession, every dribble, every pass being contested. Uzan at the basket and one. Tugler. Roberts the rebound. Kick out. Uzan. Got it. It's a 2-point game. Roberts with Toppin on him. Roberts directing traffic. Backing down. Shot clock winding down. Uzan. Got to put it up. He does. And it goes.
On to Roberts most of the year in these situations. But lately, Cryer has been the closer.
1 minute to go. Cryer with Anderson on him. Cryer looking for space. Lost the handle. Cryer, kick out. Uzan, got it. Oh, boy.
But they are going to have to, their rotation when they're all healthy, a very tight 8-man rotation. Obviously, when you lose 2 of your top 8, You got to get creative, and he will. The Houston starting five, all three of those guards, Cryer, Sharp, Uzan, all 40% or better from three-point range. This is Uzan, the Oklahoma transfer, to get him on the board.
Ball is really moving for Iowa State.
Drives into a double team and turns it over. Houston ball.
Excellent anticipation by Emmanuel Sharp. He read that the whole way on that baseline drive.
What a trio of guards in Cryer, Sharp, and Uzan for the Cougars.
Uzan very clever with the ball and a very low error rate. He does not turn it over much.
How about the last 5 games? 27 assists. 2
team to run. What a pass.
Chatfield too strong off the glass.
Really good challenge by Uzan.
Sharp, deep range, was thinking about it. Cryer swings it. Uzan's open and hits.
What they just saw there was an easy catch and shoot for Tamin Lipsey. You have to be there on the catch. They are going to shut those cameras down at halftime.
One would hope, yes. But as we were saying during the break, it almost looks like they're cyborgs so they can recharge, plug in at halftime. The instance of that coach in this program.
Yeah, the same thing at Michigan State. There are a number of places like that. A lot of great cultures out there, but this one had, you know what Houston's identity is.
About 4 seconds separating the game clock and the shot clock. Uzan scoops it up and it goes. The free throws will go, and it's a 2-point game.
And of those 25 points, there's not a single one that Houston hasn't desperately needed. What a gutsy performance by Iowa State in this game.
Roberts back to Uzan, who had 14 in the first half, hasn't scored in the second until now.
What?
Uzan with the ball. Cryer in the corner. Heisey on him.
It's an offensive foul. Got away with it.
The step back by Uzan will go.
The assist, but the hockey assist.
Here's Miller. Tough one off the bounce, and he left it short. Rebound to Roberts. Look at Francis on that block. He was calling for it, but instead, it's
instead of dealing with 2 bigs of Houston.
Cryer shaking free. 3 off the mark. But it's Arsenault keeping it alive for Houston. Uzan, he is so patient. Works at his speed. Shot clock's at 7. Left him open. Nails the 3.
Mason 1-on-1. Gets the stop, but B.J. Freeman.
But these celebrations, I understand it was a facial, but look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. Tough shot, and I think they need more of that. And he definitely has the capability to do that, but you're right. Celebrations down by 16 are a little much.
And I don't want to feel like we're getting on Freeman today.
Yeah.
He's a great player.
But I think that's why we're getting on him, because of how good he can be and his potential, right? Because if he didn't have that potential, then there'll be no need to say anything. Talk about a lot.
And Lewis daring them to shoot and make some.
Uzan puts it on the floor, and as he's floating to his...
Just one of the all-time leading scorers in the state of Texas, high school basketball.
4-point game, 2 minutes to go here in the first half. First place in the conference on the line. Houston at 12-1, Arizona a game back at 11-2, Texas Tech at 10-3. Uzan, now he's great, times where he's not.
Yep.
And if you're Tommy Lloyd, how do you get that message across?
It's 2 years now. It's who he is. You have
place in the Big 12. Houston leads the Wildcats by a game in the standings, but down 4, 6 minutes into the second half. Uzan drives, floater, and it drops somehow. Both teams in this game. Love on the step back, lunges, and short of the triple try.
I'll tell you, Dave, Arizona has shown up. They've been in this fight, and they have definitely landed a lot of blows. They are so far the tougher team. There's no question.
Love is 1 for his last 14 from 3. 0 for 7 Tuesday night against K-State. 1 for 7 today. Uzan will try and get it. A three-pointer.
Sampson told us that he really has appreciated Cryer's toughness on both ends.
Has not been able to get to the foul line. In fact, Houston only has 5 attempts. They got 2 guys, Cryer and Sharp.
They put the guy with the 7'6" wingspan on the ball. Watch out.
Caleb Love way short. You can see that when it left his hand. He's 1 for 8 from 3. Arizona 1 game back of Houston for the top spot in the Big 12 standings. Past the midway point. 7 games left for each school entering today.
Well, they're trying to get it to Roberts, but they couldn't.
Uzan, beautiful floater that time by the Cougars. Brought on its feet here in McHale. First time Houston's played here in 15 years. The floater, Uzan.
Oh, so good.
Jeremy Roach, who missed time in 2 different stretches due to concussion. Suffered one against UConn, another against TCU. And Baylor within 1.
And this right now is basically a 5-guard offense.
Uzan able to hit the Oklahoma.
He was spooked early with the turnovers, but the way he's been playing lately, they need him to be aggressive and even take some tough shots. Baylor's in that 1-1-3 zone. It's a little harder to rebound out of it. This guy's a handful right here.
Roberts looking for space. Celestine active hands. Uzan, nice shot on the base.
Because he broke his foot as a high school senior. He had a rod in his leg for 2 years here.
Uzan off the glass, scoring.
A game that I think they can win. Cincinnati on the road and then OSU at home. There are wins out there for this team as they adjust their style of play.
Uzan hesitates, lost the handle, spins it home and takes the
guys. Devon Martin inside, Malone extra pass, Yakimovsky. Juwan Roberts battles for the rebound, Cryer grabs it. Uzan says, let's go.
0 for 6 behind the arc to start this basketball game. It's not a good recipe. You got to mix up the 2s and the 3s.
Good look for Uzan. Rattles home. Houston. The size from the crowd here at the CU Event Center. Step back off the mark. 5 opportunities. Uzan, 3. Cashes in. And with 8 points, 2 assists. Looking for his 9th. 10 points. No good. Tucker tries to put it back and drops it off for Wilson. And the Cougars reset. Uzan revs the engine. Floater. Finishes.
He's not real pleased with the effort his team gave for a full 40 minutes. There was some lack of concentration in this one. You got to foul right away if they can't get this ball.
Malik Wilson scurries across half court.
Oh, it looks like Coach Boyle has told his team not to foul. If under 40 seconds to play, they're going to let this one play out. Realize they fought hard. They just came up a little bit short. I'll tell you what, I like the culture. I like the character of these players and the work ethic. Even though they came up a little short for a team that was...
Well, Usman played 30 minutes in the first matchup, and he didn't score much, only 5 points, but it was important for him to be out there because of his big body.
Uzan gets the
able to get him the ball inside, James, is he has to be decisive about going to the basket and not waiting for the double team to get to him.
A 3 is up and in
for a couple of times. But they've gotten pretty good looks here the last couple of possessions. Once they make those, then they're going to be able to set their defense up on the other end.
Uzan capitalizes on.
Houston has never led by more than 1 possession.
Uzan knifing in, and that is nice.
Oklahoma State turns it over. Houston has numbers.
Uzan banks it in. 9.
fouls on Patrick Sumnick, and that is his second foul. Arsenault's taken the most shots for Houston. He's 4 for 11 in double figures with 10. 8 on the timer. Uzan exploring. Tugler, Uzan up top, hits the dot.
Next man up, Curran Walter just hit that three. He has to be able to step up, and Texas Tech wants to get this upset.
And we are tied at 13. An absolutely shocking turn of events. Milos.
But they have wanted it more in the first half, and I know the locker room for Houston was not fun.
Chance McMillan leading the Red Raiders with 13. LJ Cryer has 13 for the Cougs. Texas Tech 13-1 this year when they lead at the half. But right. Cryer for 3. Off the mark that time. The tap back to Uzan. 6 rebounds and 4 assists. Can't get that one to go. The offensive rebound to Federico. And taken away by Roberts.
If you're Federico, you cannot bring the ball down. You have to keep it up. You got the offensive board. Keep the ball up. As soon as you bring it down there, way too many hands.
Uzan, the floater. The bucket.
Jumped out and switched it.
He drives, 7 on the shot clock. Drew some contact, but no whistle there on Small's first field goal attempt of the game. Comes 9 minutes into the game before Small even gets a shot.
Well, that's his MO. He's not going to force shots. You know, he's a high percentage type point getter, but right now he may have to go try to force the issue.
Uzan. Dardo Andres spins out of trouble, kicks it to Small in the corner. Fans wanted him to take it himself.
Well, he should have taken it himself. He had a lane right to the rim with a smaller defender right there to protect. Instead, he saw Small. It's not a terrible play, but you got to take the 2 when you have it.
Here's Uzan. Spinning. Had Small on skates. And Roberts backing down Andre. Offensive rebound. Arsenault. Midway point of the second half. Second chance opportunity now for the Cougars on this possession.
Harris doing a great job on Uzan at the top.
Uzan driving, fading away, got the roll. He is up just 56 points per game. Cryer, elbow fade away. Roberts taps it to himself on the offensive glass. Now Uzan for 3, buries it.
This is a deep Cougar team.
Dickinson had a good look at it. Wilson able to save. Kansas by a half dozen as we close in on the 4-minute mark. John Shelby, Fran Fraschilla here at Allen Fieldhouse. Uzan absorbing the bump. Steps back and fires. And hits.
Store with the bigger Roberts because Kansas, with Padunga on the bench, playing small at the moment.
Houston hasn't led since it was 15-14 in the first half. Uzan with the ball. Gets into the paint. Uzan tries to hang. And he hits. And Houston has. Uzan flips it up, puts it in.
Well, Joe Tug.
66-62. Yeah, they changed the clock to 35 seconds. Uzan looking for some space. Uzan inside and puts it in.
All right, now you're going to have to. They're going to use the last timeout.
Game.
We got a lifetime left.
Oh my gosh.
Dickinson is zoning up. Look at Dickinson.
Uzan a 3. Got it.
Against them, back cuts are good.
We'll look at the Houston starting lineup, and that one rattles home.
4 possessions and then forces a turnover on the trap. Milos Uzan right on the offense. Boy, look at the denial on LJ Cryer. Madsen's denying him the ball all the way out to half court.
Another possession for Tugler. 8 on the shot clock for Milos Uzan. Pull up from Uzan. And he gets the roll.
Yeah, really hand.
Lovering misses the free throw. It's Uzan here for Houston.
Boy, Lovering really checking Cutters. As Cutters run by him, he's putting his body on him and bumping.
Arsenault.
Good defense.
Uzan, 4 to shoot. He'll finish. Assist Tugler and Milos Uzan on the floor for Houston. Wilson gets his own miss. Uzan steps into a 3. To Uzan. Miller. Off the mark. Wilson with an offensive rebound.
Well, these are tough matchups out on the perimeter for Utah.
Shot fake from Uzan, and he hits the mid-range. Madsen. Madsen inside, turn around, tried to throw it inside. It's knocked away to Uzan.
2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
Uzan off of Francis' screen. Beautiful.
That's beautiful. Milos Uzan is.
And on top of that, the previous play was upgraded to a flagrant 1 against Sedlot, leading to the free throws we just witnessed from Mason Madsen. Uzan, Roberts, Wilson, Lott, and Mercy Miller on the floor for Houston.
Good defense.
Uzan has 6 to shoot. Wilson. Back to Uzan.
And looking Curry like there.
Houston, with the nation's #1 scoring defense so far, has yet to slow down UCF, who's raced out to an early 12-8 lead. Uzan floating in the paint. That's money.
And Francis for Houston, 12 as well.
Credit UCF, 8 of 10 from the free throw line, getting some easy points there. Sharp almost took an extra step. Uzan navigating the defense. His pull-up jumper is good.
It's actually one of the best.
Houston, JoJo Tugler finally back on the floor. Only played 3 minutes in that first half.
Team fouls were essentially even in the first half.
Uzan nearly goes untouched coast to coast for an easy line. And they have not trailed at half.
But like some of the Houston teams of old, Jordan, this is the 2nd best 3-point shooting team in the country. They are never, ever out of a ball game when you can shoot the 3 like Houston does.
Normally shooting 41%, 11% today so far. Uzan in the paint, couple of pump fakes, goes window, yes sir.
Yeah, really like it. That was an,
I might add.
He's guided multiple programs to Final Fours. Uzan getting in.
Statistic. We talked about the defensive adjustments for West Virginia. In the first half, Houston had 9 assists. Very high offensive efficiency. They have 0 assists 9 minutes into the second half.
It's a great note. It's been the LJ Cryer show, and that's been it. Uzan with the ball with 9 to shoot. He's been held to 2 tonight. Weaving back and forth, trying to turn the corner. Banker is in. Count it, and 1. They have 1 more burst left in them. Okani, a miss, and sharp clears for Houston. In West Virginia, they had 6 offensive rebounds, most of those in the first half. But here in the second half, Houston is really clamped down. Uzan's 3 is in.
And he said, obviously, against Houston, you have to rebound. You can't give them second chance opportunities.
That was foul number 2 on McDaniel. Foul number 1, I should say. Uzan spins, 12-footer, good. Finally get it to the hands of Uzan. He'll reset it up here. Houston does not have a turnover here in the first half. We're down about the last minute. And Uzan from 3. They've cut what was a 22-point lead out of 16. Giving the crowd a little bit of life, but Uzan quietly. Now double-digit turnovers for K-State, number 10.
Sharp is underrated defensively. He's extremely tough, but he does a nice job of swiping those skip passes and closing out on shooters on the opposite side.
Uzan floater, teardrop drops in.
Kim Kissinger, Doug Sermons, and Bert Smith. We're underway, and Emmanuel Sharp, 21 in white, grabs the opening tip. Milos Uzan, number 7 in white, their point guard, the lone starter on this Houston team who is not back from last year. Fran, what do they do offensively?
Well, they're going to move it side to side. They love to play through Roberts because of that. He passes the ball out of double team.
And Uzan cans the first 3 of the game to the big man, Ernest Udeh. Here's another freshman, Micah Robinson, off the mark. Udeh, the rebound, stolen away by Uzan. And the Oklahoma transfer, a one-man fast break. Here's Roberts in playmaking mode. Uzan found the seam, but it was blocked and then tipped in.
Impressive night for the young man from Peoria.
Roberts, patient. Do you think he knows he's 3 away from 1,000?
It looked like they were setting up a little ball screen for him last possession. Because he's coming out soon. I don't think it matters when he gets it.
Uzan with the float game.
Overs and made shots. Offensive rebound. Second chance for Cryer. He can't hit it. Gave up a 3rd try at it. And instead resets with Uzan.
And JoJo Tugler so active on the boards.
Sets the screen here. Uzan step back 3. Nothing but the... That is the first made basket for BYU in 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's the first clean look they've had at the basket in maybe 16 minutes.
Yeah. Houston still very much in the driver's seat. Step back 3, Uzan. Got it.
BYU known for his defense, but that was pretty.
Pretty layup right there. Fade away. Nice touch on it. Got away from the shot blocker and JoJo Tugler. High level finish right there.
Tugler. 8 to shoot. Uzan from the top, and he hits the dot.
Look at Tugler. The bigs of Houston do as good of a job as anybody in the country in staying in front of guards, not allowing guards to blow by them and not relying on your help. They do a tremendous job sliding their feet on the perimeter.
3 and change left in this first half. Uzan, runner, that's nice, off the window.
The defense right there. Dewan Roberts able to stay in front of Avery, a guy who once again is Oklahoma State's leading scorer. That is good perimeter defense.
Oklahoma State pacing for their fewest first half points of the year. 8 to shoot for Houston. Francis with it, the big out high, searching. Uzan one-on-one against Brantley, using the left, and Uzan is up to 7 points in traffic.
And that's one thing about Arturo Dean. He might be small, but he is extremely tough. He is not afraid to go in there amongst the Giants.
3rd team All-Conference USA last year at Florida International. Uzan, a corner pocket, 3 is down. It's Virginia.
Well, it's not full court, but it's very similar principles in the half court. They jump the passing lanes. They sit on top of you on the high side. They try to cause as many turnovers like we saw in West.
Roberts, step back. Short, rebound to Tugler.
This is an area where Houston, if they want to take that next step, scoring in transition.
Uzan attacks, high off the window with a left. Big 12 all-freshman team last year, despite a broken bone in his foot in February, cost him the end of the season. He was under-recruited when the Cougars started watching him, and he ended up being a hard recruit, but stuck with the Cougars. Shot clock rolling under 10 as Uzan gets a screen from Francis. Uzan off the bounce, spins it in. What a finish for you.
You want to post up the big guy? No, these guards are taking the bigger players off the dribble.
Well, Francis gave Roberts a bump, but play on. And the Cougars do. Uzan in the corner. He has the last 5. That 13 guys playing 9 or more minutes a game. That triple try won't go from Wilson. Second chance. Uzan knocks it down. That is 10.
Athletic director Rafael Stone. Come on, man. Calm down, man.
Eddie Nunez unhappy with that. Cryer with the rebound. LJ tonight 0 for 6 from the floor in this game. You know he's got to be a little frustrated with his individual performance, despite the fact his team is up by 19. Uzan?
But nonetheless, you got guys getting valuable minutes that they maybe wouldn't have normally gotten.
And there's the top of the case with 2 of 20 from 3. Lewis, there's another block shot. The third one for Tugler. Uzan to the window with a left hand.
Could have been an those possessions, but I tell you, man, Toledo, they're still working, man.
13 of 48 tonight from the floor. Cougars are 28 of 58. Cougars again just 3 of 22 from three-point range tonight. Wilson out right side. This is for a 4th three-pointer off the hands of Milos. Dowd in the low block. Turning his field. Stolen another turnover. This time to the hands of Emmanuel Sharp. Leads to Uzan right side. Getting Euro step his way to the
by Juwan Roberts for Houston.
And if you think about defense for Houston, you got to think about defense also for Butler. Really, really good. Very different style. What they want to do is just contest every shot. They play position defense. They don't look for turnovers. They don't force a lot of turnovers. They don't get a lot of deflections, but they also don't lunge and reach and get themselves out of position.
LJ Cryer weaves his way in. 3 to shoot. Launching a 3 from the top. Milos Uzan as many as 12. As McCaffrey tries to get inside and strip from Andre's screen. The Cougars and Milos Uzan in transition. And it rolls in somehow. #1 Kansas and Missouri.
Yep. That game, though, between the Huskies and Texas, you've got 2 of the best freshmen in the country. Paul Biancardi had them both inside the top. A lot when we were in studios. When you're at the top of the scouting report, how teams scheme and how they give a point of emphasis to take you out of rhythm, right, and make somebody else beat you. And when you're playing a team that is as defensively sound and as aggressive as Houston, I mean, that's a tough day at the office.
The top option, scoreless. For Butler is Milos Uzan on the drive. It's in 3 years. Now his 2nd year at Butler. Goes 1 for 2.
Butler, you think about the fact that the point guard position, they don't really have that quintessential pass first lead guard, and against a defense like Houston, man, it can make things difficult to try to get you organized.
Milos that Kelvin Sampson has coming in next year.
Yeah, Chris Senac is the #1 center in the country, can really shoot the ball, by the way, so he'll add a different dimension, stepping away. Kingston Fleming's really elevated up in the rankings to #12. They have the #2 recruiting class.
McKinney gives it up. Compton not been afraid. He misses again. Here come the Cougars with 2:25 left in the first half. Houston up 5. Nifty moves there by Uzan. Milos Uzan.
We have to keep them to 1 shot. They're an elite rebounding team. And he said, we're encouraged because for as good as a defensive team as they are, we've only turned it over twice, which is really good for a young team. The message to the team is if we execute the way we've been executing, we can win this game.
Well, B.A., you talked about the free throw shooting and how important it's been. Both teams, 8 field goals made in the first half. Both teams, 3 3-pointers made as Uzan.
Kelvin Sampson was pretty adamant to Allie going into the halftime locker room that his team missed a ton of open looks. Here's an open look for Uzan, and he knocks this one down.
Great shot there, but I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, that would have been a highlight of the night for sure if he made that. San Diego State by a point. Houston down with the ball here. First overtime period. Uzan. PJ Davis right with him. Uzan patient, and he gets the friendly bounce.
And that's his game. He likes
expectations in Houston this year. Here's Tate Davis. He misses. Rebound ripped down by Javier Francis. Cougars 6th in the nation. They lost to Alabama in overtime last night. Alabama just picked up a win over Rutgers. And it
was a fantastic move, B.A.
That was such a high-level game, too. Alabama and Houston, those two teams, they have high expectations. Uzan, the Vegas native, that's a good start. Alaco hit some massive threes yesterday late in the game. At one point, hit 3 threes in a 30-second window on the game clock. Helped Notre Dame force overtime.
A lot of drama last night, too. Fun to watch.
We've had 3 great games already in our pod. Arsenault finds Uzan and returns a favor to the point. Ooh, tough pass there. Dangerous one. Uzan's had a nice game. Good comeback for him. 3 of 10 shooting, but 8 points, 9 assists. He's really been a good playmaker. 9 assists, only 1 turnover. He needed this game back in his hometown. Late clock. Uzan got to put one up. There you go. That ought to do it. Jones, they're early in their schedule, too. They know they've got to get ready quick. This is going to be an up-and-down affair. Got a block shot. Another opportunity here for the Cougars. And the Vegas native, Milos Uzan, running the point. Transfer from Oklahoma, and he scores the first.
Good job as a team, not turning the ball over. Uncharacteristic of this attack.
2 high-octane offenses. Houston, one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country, and they cash one in.
Miller, good catch off a deflection. Uzan. Nice finish.
Defending LJ Cryer tonight, a tough matchup, but Coach Marlin said the senior's a joy to coach and knows he'll always give his best effort.
I love stories like that, right? A kid shows up, walk on, earns a scholarship, and he'll leave as the best 3-point shooter in the history of the school. Trying to figure that out here at just a few games in the season. Uzan off the window. Yeah, 16-2, plus 14 in points off turnovers. Chase down block JoJo Tugler. He wanted the alley-oop. Uzan, a corner 3. Good defense. Saved well that time by Sharp. Kept in play by Ramon Walker Jr. Or Emmanuel Sharp, weak side defense. I thought he was going to get there late. He came a long way to knock that ball loose. Uzan, good crossover. Off the window and a foul. To sit back down. And, you know, Bob Marlin and Kelvin Sampson have a lot in common. Both of them are number 2 on the all-time winningest list for their respective schools, and they're 2 of only 5 guys that have won over 200 games at 2 different schools, including their current school. Nice play to Zion.
That's good. I like that. Chaney Johnson, remember, a Division II player for 2 years, an Alabama kid, Alabama Huntsville. And boy, is he filled out.
Terrence Arsenault on the floor. After an Achilles tear last year, 23 and white is back. Uzan gets it to go.
You feel the energy?
As you would expect. Pettiford, pull up, 3, in and out. And Uzan comes out like he shot out of a cannon. Oh, Emmanuel Sharp got away with that.
I thought he held it. I do. I really think he held it, but it certainly looked like a travel, Rich.
Here's Uzan with the seam. Left hand for Milos. Ramon Walker, number 3 on the floor for Kelvin Sampson now. Good ball movement by the Cougs. Uzan with the floater, and he's got 6.
Well, they've had trouble getting it in tonight.
Something that Kelvin Sampson implored them to work on and concentrate on in their practice. Uzan flanking. And what a second half for Janai Broome. 4 points in the first half. He's got 20 on the game now.
Now, how do you get Cryer a shot? And do you leave him?
Uzan!
Okay.
He's going to be more likely to get into foul trouble. Mo Williams can't have him getting fouled in the first 3 minutes of this game. Great inbound. Same way he played against A&M. He was terrific against the Aggies in that exhibition game. Uzan looks good, doesn't he?
He sure does. Tugler spinning in the paint. Out to Uzan, 10 to shoot. High screen from Sedlon. Uzan with the 3. He hits! To a science fair. Wish I could help you out, Reed.
Yeah, you left me hanging.
And there is Tugler coming over for another dunk. A magnet to every ball on defense for JoJo Tugler.
Probably wouldn't be very good TV if I just started going.
Tugler thought about the 3.
He sure did.
Well, you talked about it last broadcast, how sometimes he feels like he has to shoot, as we see Uzan there. It's looked